Hello, I'm Jean Synodinos, and I want to thank you for stopping by in these incredibly weird times for a little virtual studio tour. This shot might give you an idea of what I've packed into this tiny, weird space. It's about 2/3 of my one-car garage. It's very cold in winter and unbelievably hot in summer, but I've been really happy here working for the past 5 years or so. I am told by people much smarter than me that viewers might want to know not just what I do, but how and even why I do what I do. Well, so when I was a kid, it seemed as though the gardens in our neighborhood were very neat and very well manicured, very sort of boxy and formal, except ours. And my mother's garden absolutely flowed. It was incredibly lush and it seemed a tad unruly. And one day I asked her, why she didn't prefer something more formal. And she said, "Jean, there are no straight lines in nature." And that truth has stayed with me. And I think it's why a lot of the focus for much of my work has been on the abstract exploration of the perfect imperfection of nature, as well as the lines that we humans impose upon that. The work started to blossom, I think, in around 2017, and that's when I put the brushes down and picked up a big old palette knife and moved beyond just acrylics paints to include lots of inks and textures, started working with textures. For instance, what you see here is a series started in 2018 depicting months of the year. In 2019, the paintings evolved to reflect, I think, a depth and calm that I was personally feeling from some real happiness I've got in my life. And I built up canvases with more textures, pastes and fibers and grit. After which I started applying dozens of coats of glazes, applied rather gently to create, well, I hope that sense of depth and calm that I was actually feeling. All of these paintings were finished with resin because for me, it just pulls the color forward towards the viewer's eye. The color just pops. And I like the way a viewer gets a sense of their own reflection in the canvas. 2020, however, has been another ball of wax. Starting with the pandemic in March and our government's incomprehensibly inept approach to the virus, building through nationwide protests and the gassing of peaceful protesters in Washington, D.C., to, as I tape this right now, 2 days before the election, an election that's had us on the edge of our seats for months now. Honestly, I really feel like I have been paralyzed for a good deal of this year. And it's not that I didn't show up to paint. It's that the paintings I was making no longer reflected how I felt about the world in these times. Not at all. So I started work on an abstract painting of, oddly enough, an oil refinery along the Gulf Coast near Surfside Beach, Texas, which I've seen a gazillion times. And as I finished, I became obsessed with the idea of cutting the canvas up. Not because I wanted it destroyed, but because it seemed I didn't want it to be whole. And it took weeks of processing this strange desire to understand what I was going for. But what finally came into focus for me was a desire to see the painting through a window. And this is the painting right there. The first one finished since COVID hit us in March. And since then, I've been, and I think I will be for some time, painting life through windows. Here's the view from an apartment in New York City. Here's the view from within a cabin on a river. I just finished this one yesterday. And as you can see, these paintings don't look alike. I am interested in conveying what's outside that window in whatever style is necessary. And I'm also looking for inspiration. So if you happen to have a fabulous view outside of your window, I would love to see it. There is one more wildly different body of work that I would love to share with you, but I'm going to do that in a separate video. and I'm going to post it to my blog. And that's going to be about my work in concrete, particularly the creation of these hand cast and hand painted concrete bowls. Let's see, I'm just going to just show you real fast what they look like. And if you're at all curious about how these are made and what you might do with them, big ones, small ones, then I hope you'll check that video out as well. In the meantime, if you have any questions about my process or any of the canvases I've shown you, I would love to hear from you. I'd be more than happy to set up a private Zoom meeting to show you specific works or just talk about the work in general. You can email me at jean@jeansynodinos.com or contact me directly through my website, jeansynodinos.com, and there you can see a very full collection of online galleries by clicking on the Art tab. And if you're interested, when you click on the Store tab, you'll see a complete listing of all available inventory. Choosing a piece of art is an incredibly personal experience, and my greatest goal is to ensure that anyone who decides to purchase a piece from me not only enjoys that experience, but then loves having it in their home for years and years and years and forever. So thank you for coming. Thanks to Big Medium for pulling this virtual studio tour together in the strangest of years. I sincerely hope that our paths can cross safely out there in the world sooner rather than later. Stay safe, take care, and let me know if I can show you anything at all, anytime. Be well.